Color settings determine the range of colors available. Using the default color settings in Photoshop will limit the variety of color you can use when editing. In 1996, the most widely used color space was created by Hewlett-Packard and Microsoft, known as SRGB. The human eye can see the full range of colors in the graph below. The SRGB color space can only be seen within the triangle outlined. Just 2 years later, in 1998, Adobe created a broader spectrum of colors technology can read and produce called Adobe RGB. In the graph below, you can see the human eye can see the full color range of the graph. And below that, within the triangle, Adobe RGB color space is broader than sRGB. On the left, you see Adobe RGB color space, and on the right, you see sRGB color space. You can tell in comparison that Adobe RGB color space is much broader than sRGB color space. Hi everyone, I am Tanya Johnson, and today I will show you how to get a broader spectrum of colors by changing your color settings in Photoshop. Who should use Adobe RGB? Photographers, marketers, professional printing companies, graphic designers specializing in print media. But why? Adobe RGB can produce richer, vibrant colors, and print will allow your photos to preserve more of the scene's original colors. You can find Adobe Photoshop's color settings by going to Edit and then Color Settings. Click the drop-down arrow under the dialog box labeled Working Spaces RGB. You will see many different color setting profiles you can choose from. You want to click the one that says Adobe RGB 1998. Under Color Management Policies, you want to ensure that all three choices under RGB, CMYK, and Gray all have Preserve Embedded Profiles selected. If it isn't selected, just click on the drop-down arrow and find the one that says Preserve Embedded Profiles and click that one. In the next section, you're given a choice to have Photoshop ask you every time you open or paste if you want the profile mismatched or missing profiles. If you want Photoshop to ask you this each and every time, go ahead and check those. But if not, go ahead and leave them blank. Go ahead and click Save. A dialog box will appear and you will save as and name your color profile settings. Then click Save. Photoshop will give you the option to leave a comment in the description area of the color settings dialog when this setting file is selected. If you don't want, you can leave it blank and just click OK. To ensure your color settings have been saved, in the Color Settings dialog box under Settings, click on the drop-down arrow and you should see your named color settings profile. That's it, and that's how you can change your color settings in Photoshop to get the most realistic prints and truest possible colors to the original. Thank you for watching and see you next week.